Hey guys, how are you doing? DanMangena here, Dreamer CEO. As the title suggests, very specific with what I want to talk about today. I'm going to be doing this every day this week. I've got some time and I wanted to use that productively. And one of the most productive things I could do is to continue to expand my mission to have more people living more abundant, joyful, purpose-driven lives and tackling something that really peeved me off. It really did my nugget in. I didn't really get it. So first and foremost, for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm a speaker, I'm an author, I do some coaching, I do some teaching, all around abundance, but most importantly, creating your own reality and doing so abundantly. I'm sitting on my sofa, I'm not in the office today, I'm just sitting on my sofa. I had planned to do this whole elaborate thing around this, but I said, you know what? I'm just gonna hop on and speak to you guys about this very powerful gift that we all have access to, but we're not really tapping into, and that's having financial freedom. There's no whiteboard today. I've literally just jumped on StreamYard and blasting this to a few places. I'm going to be continuing the conversation with questions and all that kind of good stuff in my Facebook group, Dream with Dan. So if you want to continue the conversation, go ahead and do that. For those of you who don't know who I am, you can check out my website, dreamwithdan.com. I'm everywhere. Really, there's loads of stuff about what I do. I'm not here to talk more about me. I'm here to talk about you and how you can have financial freedom. Let's talk about what financial freedom is. Let's define it. I define financial freedom as being able to live the life that you want. So having your desired lifestyle without needing to work. Very simple. The life that you want to live without having to work to do it. Now, you could be like me. Technically, I'm financially free, but I still work a lot. Probably more than Olga would want me to, but I love what I do. So this isn't about being a lazy bum and not doing anything, or necessarily sitting on a beach drinking pina coladas, if that's what you're into. It's about having the choice about whether you work or not. Now, there are a lot of charlatans out there, I'm going to say it, who sell you BS around this idea that you're going to, flick some magical switch and then everything's going to magically be this way and you're going to have a millionaire lifestyle and all this. It's BS. It's just not the way it works. Money is energy, and it's an energy that exchanges between people. Even if you get money from the lottery, it's still a person that facilitated that. Money is something that moves between us as human beings. When you start to understand this, you start to understand that if I have financial freedom, what I'm talking about is that exchange of money coming inwards to me without me necessarily needing to be hands-on with that process. There are different ways that happens, and there are different levels that happens at. One of the things that I spoke about in the financial freedom class I mentioned in the description was that for a lot of us, the idea of the amount of money that we need to be financially free is inflated and BS. You don't need hundreds of thousands a year to be financially free. Generally speaking, your needs, which I define as financial freedom level 1. Your needs are generally even less a lot of the time than you even make with a salary. But when you take into account tax, leakages and other things, you end up needing more. So I've just mentioned about a couple of levels. So financial freedom for me can be split into two different types of financial freedom. Financial freedom level 1 is your basic needs being met. So roof over your head, food in your belly, bills paid, all of the essentials. I would offer, and this is something that people lose sight of all the time, I would offer that before jumping to financial freedom and shooting for a luxury lifestyle, get your feet wet and get yourself stable with financial freedom level 1. So the first thing I'm going to give you today as a tip is identify your financial freedom level 1 figure. Your bills, roof over your head, food, leave the other stuff out. Just focus on that. And that gives you a really more manageable first step towards financial freedom. Now, this is really powerful because once you have identified your financial freedom 1 figure, and once you stepped into it, because it's going to be a lot easier than you actually think, you're going to get more time. Okay. Now, one of the things that I found people saying time and time again is they don't have enough money to create the income to be financially free. I actually did a class from my Micro to Millions program about this, and it actually looked at the different ways that capital shows up in your life. We normally just associate it with money. financial capital. But actually, you've got relationship capital, you've got time capital, you've got skills capital, you've got knowledge capital. And all of these things can be exchanged with others for money, for financial capital. When we're talking about financial freedom, what we're talking about is exchanging that alternative capital in a way that money comes into us without us needing to work. This could be in the form of residual income. This could be in the form of some kind of licensing, or it could be in the form of actually having a team managing the income generation for you. But that's a bit higher up the scale. When we're stepping in at the ground, what we want to look at is what our resources are, how those can be marshaled, redeployed, and reallocated so that it's generating income for us that we don't need to work for. The problem is that most of you are buying BS stories about what that looks like. All right. Or real ways that it can be done end up getting bastardized by bad press or by bad apples. For example, multi-level marketing, a very, very powerful way to do that. But what happens is you get caught up in BS products that nobody wants. You lose sight of the fact that multi-level marketing is just a medium to sell a product. If you jump into an MLM program for something that nobody wants, you're lost, regardless of what the leaders in the program or the upline of the person who sold you on it. Look at the product. Is it a product that people are going to want? The other thing that people shoot themselves in the foot with multi-level marketing, they try and sell to everyone they know, even though they may not want the product. It doesn't make any sense. Instead of, for example, the way that we teach it with Micro to Millions, using marketing to find actual people that want that product and give it to them, because it's an actual business. When you lose sight of the illusion that you're not going to have to actually have a business of some sort to create a financial freedom, you're a lot further along in the journey, because for many, that's one of the places they get stuck. So what is financial freedom? Financial freedom is having enough income to not need to work. I offer that you break that into two levels. Level one, my basic needs. And level two, all the fun stuff. Bigger house, nicer car, holidays, nights out, all that kind of stuff. Handle your business at level one first. You will get time back. If you invest extra time, your weekends, your evenings, and so on and so forth, a little surplus savings or other types of capital that you've got with relationships and other things, to marshalling those to create sufficient income to replace your full-time job or your part-time job, all of a sudden, you may not be living the life of Riley with the income that you're making. You may only be making a couple of thousand a month. You may even take a haircut in your income. But the powerful thing is that you have more time. I'll give you an example from my own life. When I started my last business, I was working in a call center between 1:30 in the afternoon and 9 to 9:30 at night. I was working for minimum wage. I was making like £6.50 an hour, about $9 an hour. I was making that money doing the same customer service call over and over and over again for hours. But what I did was I took the money from that and I used the time that I had in the morning and I used my relationship and knowledge capital to start a business. As soon as that business was making just a few £100s a month, not enough to replace my part-time minimum wage job, but just a few £100s a month, I left the job. Why? Because then I had another 8 hours every day that I could dedicate to scaling the things that worked, to redeploying more assets, to thinking of other ways I can create money, so that then within a year, I was making six figures. And within 2 years, we're making six figures a month or something like that. It's ridiculous. But it started with redeploying and working with where I'm at now. So the thing I want to implore all of you who are watching this, and again, I'm going to be back every day giving you a very short video, around 10, 15 minutes, with something that you can do so that by the end of this week, by the end of our time together, you can start creating some financial freedom going into 2021, is to identify, what do I have? What relationships do I have? What skills do I have? What knowledge do I have? What extra capital have I got, savings or stuff that's not being deployed accurately? And then what's my financial one figure? What do I need to cover my basics, and start shooting towards that? Now, as always, I'm available, my Facebook group. One of the reasons why I think this has come up for me as something that I want to do is that with my Micro to Millions program, there were people that were in it that weren't really interested in being a millionaire. All right, cool. You don't want to be a millionaire. They don't even want to have six figures in the bank. They just want to be financially free. And so what I'm actually doing is I'm actually looking at supporting those of you that just want to be financially free and aren't interested in dedicating months and months and months or whatever to learning about creating wealth and abundance. You just want to be financially free. That doesn't require you going and knowing yourself. You can do it from where you are at now. So this is really, this time I'm going to spend with you guys over the next week is really for those of you that aren't interested in going through a whole coaching program. You're not interested in watching loads of videos and dedicating a lot of time. You just want to be financially free. And no matter where you are in the world, no matter what position you're in now, not only is financial freedom available to you, but you can actually get the bank to pay for it. And that's what I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do over this time. If you want to know more about this, hit me up. I encourage you to join my Facebook group. I'm going to answer questions and stuff on this. Again, it's streamwithdan.com/Facebook, or I'll aim to tag it here. I've done something that I don't normally do. I'm also streaming this on my personal page because with how 2020 looked, the way that 2021 is looking, more and more of you are realizing you can't depend on a paycheck, right? Because that job might not be there. You can't depend on the government because who even knows who's running it. We're in an unknown. The only way to thrive in an unknown, I think, is to be in dominion of your own reality. And I want to give you the keys to that without needing to go through a complicated like coaching program. As great as Micro to Millions is, I'd love for all of you to come and do Micro to Millions, but I know that 9 out of 10 of you aren't really into it. You're not ready for it. You're not up to it. So I want to give you guys something that aren't up for the whole thing and just want to dig in, dive in and get financial freedom. So we're going to look at that this week. Again, I'll be back every day. Share this with a friend who you feel has had some pressure with 2020. Nobody needs to not have dominion over their finances. Nobody needs to be in lack. Abundance is your birthright. I want to support you in having more of that. So financial freedom, let's get it. I'll be back every day with a short video. If there are any questions or anything that's kind of popping up or something that you'd like me to cover on this journey, go ahead and hit me up in my Facebook group. But again, this is not about me trying to sell you some program that's going to be like engaging and all that kind of stuff. I literally want to just support you guys going and getting financial freedom in 2021. It's available to you. It's possible no matter where you are in the world, where you're at right now, without needing to go through a complicated coaching program. There are ways that you can structure financial freedom so that it's even done for you. Most importantly, the banks pay for it also, but we'll get into that over the course of the week. Much love. Bye for now. And again, I'll be taking questions and giving you guys some more time in my Facebook group. And I look forward to popping back on tomorrow with some more. Ciao.